Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butters. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. I forgot to promote this. Wait a second. And that bought me enough time for my guest to show up, so that's great. All right, now for real. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butters speaking more about the suppose of... Okay, something went horribly wrong there. It seemed like the video was glitching out, so I'm hoping that nothing is wrong with my connection, but I guess I won't know until later, so I guess we'll just carry on with the introduction as per normal right now, and then we will see where this goes. Anyway, Witch Academy. That was it was a name that was familiar to me and has been for some time. There's certain shows that I have on my personal list to get to that I want to tackle in some form because because they're a must for what I do. Most of them are either things known by like really well known people or stuff that's like really long running, and that's when Witch Academy comes in. Witch Academy is the name of a series that actually went on for quite some time, like half a year or so, which by the time that it concluded, did make it the longest running series. It beat out the Five Gods, I think, which was the previous title holder, and then the Five Gods released its first videos and sort of I don't know. It's kind of like iffy when and how that came about because the documentation is a bit weird. And yeah, eventually at some point, the creator of Witch Academy did say that she was going to go back to making it a season two of it would come out. So when that ever happens, then that's it. My official title for the music girl is gone. But we're about today because actually this video, this Witch Academy we're watching right now, is not the Witch Academy that I just mentioned. This is a Witch Academy that Josh found that is actually a voice acted series, unlike the original Witch Academy, which isn't. So yeah, I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised. What am I talking about? There's lots of titles that Gacha videos share, but Witch Academy isn't one of them to some extent. Which, by the way, that's also why I changed Alpha Witch Senpai's name to Alpha Witch Academy, because I thought that was also like a way better title in the first place. But yeah, this one has nothing to do with that, so I'm kind of wondering, but then again, I'm fascinated by this concept in the first place, and clearly as someone who has attempted a Witch Academy thing in general, I'm very intrigued by this, regardless of whether it's the thing that I wanted to tackle eventually or not. we're tackling this one first because it was requested by a different person who was not me. Speaking of people who are not me, I'm joined today by our once usual, but now actually a little bit less frequent guest, Aidan the Best.
Yeah. Okay. Also, before the stream continues, I just want to say one thing that's very important. So, Saturday at 3 EST this weekend, the 21st, the next Fallen Angel episode comes out, which is episode 8 of season 2, which is the Mutant Girl crossover, as you can tell from the thumbnail of it.
Not to be confused with episode 8 of season 1, the Mutant Girl crossover.
Which is also a Mutant Girl crossover. But yeah, so that is coming out Saturday. So mark your calendars for that. I put out a teaser if you guys want to see it. It's on my channel. It's literally, look at my name. It's Aidan the Best. Yeah. So
yeah, pretty much.
I just a little heads up.
That being said, a fair amount of people have seen that video already. In fact, they actually DM'd us asking what on earth is the meaning of this? What is this sorcery here in the thumbnail? What, these two characters posing together? I mean, I obviously can't...
Why is Morwenna in the thumbnail? I don't know. It's just
I mean, I could ascertain a reason by reading the description.
Yeah, the description literally has a VA, so I mean...
Well, okay, it has the VAs, but the description
and the
has...
VA and the characters list.
Okay, but more importantly, the description has a description of the episode and therefore tells you exactly why they're posed together.
Yeah.
Then posed together the thumbnail, like that can happen, but people were asking why that was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, reading the description, the first line tells you why. That was what I was trying to say.
I mean, I could just start including more when I'm all the Fallen Angel thumbnails for view reasons, but yeah, nah. That would be dumb. Like, you just catch next episode of Fallen Angels after episode 8, just Morwenna's there just flying alongside Adam for some reason. And it's not explained. She's not in the episode. It's just, she's there.
All right, let's say hi to the chat before we start. So we've got KW here in the chat right now. Not the hand. I don't know what hand we're talking about here, but yes, the hand. I don't know. Then we have Ghosty using an emoji that I can't see on Restream again, but it's described. I'm still...
Purple crying. I'm still sick. It's okay, Ghosty. I will give you a virtual hug. There.
And Josh, who is also here, will probably give you some medicine. He hands out a lot of stuff to people on chats.
Listen, Ghosty, it's gonna be okay. You can get through this. You're strong, stronger than me.
Speaking of things,
although saying that, it's actually a pretty low bar. You're stronger than most people.
But yes, you're stronger than most people. Yes, you are in the Iris League of humans. Almost Sarah, dare I say. Right. Anyway, speaking of things that Josh has handed to me, this video, let us watch. Without further ado, on with the review.
As usual, we're starting in the bedroom of a character waking up.
Okay, and also, but unlike as usual, the phone is moving independently of anything else. I guess either the vibrate feature is on very high, or it's the first evidence of magic. I do like the bed sheet at least. Like, it feels like... Yeah. I'm guessing that looks like it's the same thing as...
This is something that Ghosty... that I saw from Ghosty, but it gives me vibes of some of the Monster Compendium previews with some of the bed sheets.
Yeah, it looks like an edited version of the mattress that's right underneath it.
Yeah.
Which I guess would mean that, it's a matching set.
Today's the day. Good morning, my sweetheart. Ready for your first day?
Oh, no. KW, don't look at the hand. Don't look at the hand, whatever you do.
School?
I know, Mom. First day of Witch Academy.
Okay.
Wait, they just call it Witch Academy? I guess. I mean, that's kind of a lame name. I mean, even in Alpha Academy, it actually has a name. It's like
Maoshido, yeah.
Mashimo.
Maoshido, but yeah.
Yes, I'm not good at pronouncing Japanese names.
Yeah, I mean, that does just translate to wizard school.
But, okay, which basically is what this, but okay, it sounds fancier when you're saying it in English. Okay, when you're saying it in English, it sounds fancier. It doesn't sound like it's just like, yes, a matter-of-fact name of what it is. It's like going to, yes, I'm going to high school. what high school? I'm just going to high school.
Mhm.
Like, okay, what kind of high school? Like, dang. Although that
I
is
mean-
kind of what happened with the more went on middle school. It was just called middle school. In season 3, we did give the high school name though, so that's something we fixed. And the high school does have a name, Illyria.
This is true, yeah.
Although honestly, retroactively, I kind of hope I kind of just want to give a name to the middle school. Even if
mean,
it's not said in the episode,
I've considered it too, but it feels like it's too late for that.
Just
I
a
don't
little
know.
footnote, just a little bit of lore, even if people don't see it or it's not stated.
If I come up with a good name for it, I will let you know.
I mean,
Well,
wait, we did talk about a potential prequel thing at one point. I mean, we could mention that the middle school name. That season 1 and 2 take place in as a mutant girl. And that
I do love when dialogue feels stilted and unnatural. I think it's mostly, in this case, it is mostly the delivery. I'm thinking.
I hate how the mouths are so big, but the eyes are purposely shrunk down and resized to be smaller. But the mouths weren't properly resized, so the mouths look a lot larger. They're basically walking like Kirby.
So there's also that. Anyways, so what I was saying in response to Ghosty was I don't normally talk about casting too much, but actually there's a comment on the video that says that from It's Arena 7366. The voice actor for the main character sounds like she's 2 or something. Other than that, I guess it's all right. And then the comment was, yeah, my cousin would be the main character for this series. There's no going back now. But hopefully she can improve more the series goes. So, when people say when they're watching movies and they ask the question, director's kids or producer's kids?
Nepo baby!
It does seem like that. And yeah, like honestly, kudos to I guess ItzMeKat's cousin for the enthusiasm of being this character, but I do think as far as casting goes, that was not a good choice. Because it seems like, yeah, like the way that this was being read out, it does feel, again, like I say sometimes, it feels like the first take, or it's just, oh, I am so excited to go there for my first day at Witch Academy. Like, it doesn't feel like it's rehearsed either.
Wait, is that the main character? No, that's not the main character.
No, this is the mother, but the main character sounds like that. Hold on, let me just
Sit down and make breakfast. Get ready.
Not that one. This one.
Most people don't get in this academy. It's tough.
I don't think she sounds that bad.
It really, to me, it really does sound like there's it's just.
It does kind of give vibes of reading instead of like sitting there reading.
But on top of that, the person being so young that they're struggling with the reading part in the first place, which makes it even worse. That's why, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this was good casting. It's a great move from a loving cousin, but from a director's point of view,
if I were the cousin, I would have probably just gave if I were the person making this, I would probably give my cousin like a smaller role or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Something minor that
in the series, but yeah, maybe not the main.
Plus, I count myself very lucky. Anyways, I should get ready.
Oh my word, Ghosty! You recognize that first guitar thing?
I feel
you recognize that guitar intro?
Wait, are we referencing Ghosty's thing, or are we referencing Alpha Academy?
We are referencing Ghosty's thing. That's why I singled her out. Otherwise, I'd be saying it to myself.
I was about to be like, I know I heard that somewhere. I don't know where. I hear a lot of music, to be fair.
Honestly, I would feel even worse, like saying that off the bat, if it turns out that this like pair of cousins was actually a fan of Alpha Witch Academy of all things. I don't think so. I don't think that's what happened.
Probably not.
Yeah. You're too sick. Okay, I will keep playing it then.
The editing's actually pretty good. I mean,
Yeah. Yep, Naruto running. Not gonna lie, I did do that myself in the Alpha Academy thing.
I actually enjoy this intro.
Oh, and the shadow. I like the shadow over the field. That's my favorite part so far.
Oh, this is such a cool intro style, though.
Yeah.
It's like an actual anime intro. I wish I could
Oh.
emulate this kind of intro style.
Hold on. I mean, you probably could with enough practice. I just realized like that part of the music there. That's because of the fact that this is the same music that Ghosty said was going to use for Monster Compendium, the one that I was supposed to make a song out of, but I failed at recording. Mainly because I need to like work out the chorus notes, and I never did. But because of that, I happen to know that part of that music was cut. And sometimes you can snip out a piece of music and it will actually sound, because of the way that music works. If it's timed to perfection, you don't notice the cut as much, like I did with like the walking thing for Gacha Life 2.
Just say it reminds me of, remember when we did Sunset Paradise
iFox.
reviews?
Yes.
Like, I hated how they shortened the intro. It sounded so unnatural in Sunset Paradise. Like, they released a full intro, but then the actual episodes, they had a shortened version intro, and it sounded painfully unnatural, where it just cut, and then we cut to the ending of the song, like, oh, this song wasn't meant to be cut like this.
So sometimes it is a necessary sacrifice, much like it is like, for example, the iCarly reboot. When that came out, people complained about the fact that the song cuts off like before Miranda Cosgrove sings "Leave It All to Me," which is the name of the song. I'll tell you the reason that happens. The reason that happens is because at that point, when she sings "Leave It All to Me," there's another person in the background of that song who also comes in with their own vocals to serve as like not really a harmony, but yeah, as a backing vocal for Miranda in that moment. That person is Drake Bell. That's why that's been cut. There you go. You're welcome. Anyway, like I was saying, this time was like a little bit too awkward. Episode 1, new beginning. Oh wow, she got tall. I did see a lot of that tall from the bed. My goodness, that was a surprise.
You look amazing.
Thanks, Mom.
You know, she kind of looks like Maribel from Encanto with the glasses and the clothing style. Like, I kind of get, I get Maribel, and like the herring, like the hairstyle, the hair shape and hairstyle. I get Maribel vibes from her.
Speaking of hair, it seems like this hair is being moved about. I guess like independently. Like I think the attempt was to make the head turn something done in post production, because it doesn't seem like. Because they're going to see like the hair moves that way, but we'll see if it do again. I don't know.
Okay.
The intro's the tone has shifted because it's the first one. Okay, well if you still want vocals or something for the new track, then let me know, because I can probably do something that's a bit better than the first one. I will keep the line of works hard, bed soft though, because that is amazing.
See your mom.
Oh, animation.
That's what I was saying before. Like the hair on the mother seemed like it was the attempt was to animate it at first, and then unfortunately just ended up being that it just didn't turn with the character in time. And then, oh my goodness, her entire body seemed to be collapsing on itself.
Wait for the school year. It's gonna be amazing.
Look, see, okay.
I mean,
yeah, okay. So the head is staying still. The legs are moving up and down, and the shoulders are fine for the most part. But I think it's because this is what I was saying to Emily, because we were both attempting to do like walking poses in Gacha Life 2 at the same time. The one detail that Emily missed out on was the fact that when people walk, they naturally move up and down a little bit. So like whenever they like take a step up, down, it's not too noticeable, but when you have a character and they're not doing that, they're just like shuffling like this. Like you get it. So that's why that was uncanny. And here it's somewhat the same, except for it's uncanny because some of the body's moving up and down, and the rest of it staying perfectly still.
Gonna get straight.
and then sometimes your arms.
Why is the
kind of
pupil?
fall
Wait,
off.
okay, this is just the thing. Why are the pupils moving though? I find that kind of weird in the animation. Like, I get what the creator's probably going for, but like the iris is still there, so the iris is moving, but the pupils moving.
Something about the girl's right hand feels unnatural. I mean, the right
Yeah.
hand is in a bit of an awkward position, but the left arm is falling off currently.
Maybe even fall in love. Oh my god.
Well, I guess you've got that covered if the first person you bump into in an anime it goes that way.
I
I'm so
mean,
sorry.
ooh,
say that
white
I was
hair.
born-
White hair's cool. I like
Okay.
white hair on character designs.
All right.
And
Oh, it's
Although
okay.
I think the heart shaped
See,
pupils
look
are
at that.
strange.
The head turning that way and the hair like glitches over at the same time. That's what I meant before.
I'm Cherry, by the way.
oh, hi, Cherry. I'm Alice. I am new.
So you're Alice? I'm supposed to show you.
So you're
I'm
Alice.
Alice. So you're Alice.
Yeah, no, I'm giving you a fake name. What do you think? Yeah, I just decided to give my pseudonym, but then I give my real name immediately after.
Yeah, that feels like that was supposed to be a pause or something. Either that or that was a script issue.
School later.
Imagine you were like that. You're like, so you're like, you go up to someone's like, I'm Jacob. It's like, oh, so you're Sean? Just like, okay.
Well, that would be a different name, and therefore they
Yeah.
would have caught me out on something. This is the same name being said back
Yeah.
again. It's like if the scene like I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Well, I'm Reina Flores. So you're Reina Flores.
So you're Raina. So you're Raina. Like,
That's the comparison.
In my
Yes.
mind, I thought you were gonna look different. But anyways, let's head inside.
Oh, okay. Now I see what's happened. What actually happened is that the line was delivered incorrectly by this voice actress. So what it was supposed to be, this character's expecting someone called Alice to arrive, and that's why Alice looks different. So what should have happened is, oh, I'm Alice. So you're Alice. Okay, I've been waiting for you. Let's go. Rather than, so you're Alice.
So you're Alex. Like, say you're.
This just confirms to me that that it wasn't just the cousin. Lots of people seem to have sent in their first takes, and the director was not firm enough with people to stand by what it was actually supposed to sound like.
Listen, to be fair, talking to people is scary.
Yeah, but yes,
I
counter argument, you're making a voice acted series. That is by nature a social thing that you need to be prepared to do if you're going to do it.
Side.
I just got.
No, I'm Alice, protagonist.
No, I'm not.
You already got a friend?
No, she's I think a guide or something maybe. She's
Hey, you
waiting
never
on
know.
you.
Don't lose your head. No, seriously, don't lose your head. You were leaving it behind in the animation.
Wow, this place looks
The-
huge.
The editing,
It do-
I do appreciate the ambitious visuals, but sometimes they're a bit much on my eyes
Okay,
and
Let's-
kind of messy. Mhm.
all right. Let's go bit by bit. First of all, someone was credited for making all the background character designs. Did they just forget to adjust the two that are like in the right? Secondly, when these were placed on here, they were all placed on a different layer, and they seem to grow independently of how far like the scene was supposed to go, which means that once again, people forgot to pre-render a scene if you're going to do camera transitions with static characters. I need to make a part 2 to that tutorial at some point, and that's gonna be like the first thing, if I remember to put that in. Pre-render your scenes if you're going to do camera angles, so that when you do those angles, they don't look like the characters are sliding along with them or being resized at the will of the universe.
What do you mean? The universe hasn't resized things at will around you?
No, it hasn't.
What do you mean? I walk and then sometimes like my Nintendo Switch is plugged up, but then like my Switch looks a bit bigger from a distance, and then I go closer to it, then it shrinks down because of the universe, and then I walk back a bit, then grows a bit more. You know, the normal stuff. Everything's normal. That's normal, right?
Yeah. Also, I warned you, KW, because you weren't here before. Yeah, the hands, almost all the hands are yeah, like even on the background characters, everyone is as upside down hands except for the guide here, whose name I've already forgotten. What was it? Let's check the description. I think it's Cherry. Oh, so you're Cherry. Okay then.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Wait, it's huge.
Yeah, someone amazing is someone amazing. Someone walked into a wall in the last shot.
What if I get lost in the school?
Hey, why do you look
That's why you have a guide.
so nervous?
Oh, I was just thinking, what if
Okay, this is how you do it. The moving characters. I feel like this must have been pre-rendered. It has to have been. This was done because otherwise the characters in the background there, I guess they could be on a middle layer in between. I get that's probably what it is actually. They're on a middle layer in between, most likely.
if
I
Also,
think
hi,
they're
Dr.
Gacha. They're Gacha Life. Wait a minute, those characters running in the
I
background are
get
Gacha
lost
Life.
Oh, and that's why. Oh, that's why they're the same ones from before at the bottom right. That's
They
why
look
they had
weird.
to
That's
be.
why they look weird, because everything else is made in Gacha Club and everything, and like the characters look like they're made lengthier and stuff like that. But they're Gacha Life, and you can't really do that in there. So, oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
strange.
So apparently I guess the only people worthy of custom walk cycles are the main characters, which is a relief in this case.
I don't think it's a blessing though. I think it's a curse.
forget about my class?
I mean, it's a relief that there aren't more as in like the background characters as well.
Hey, don't worry, just look at this.
Hey, don't worry. This is how people move, isn't it? When they're talking naturally, their arms just flail about like the.
Listen,
Like
I
they're
mean,
in
I
this-
appreciate that they're trying though, but like it's not working. I'm sorry.
Also, they're trying a bit too hard because, again, like a lot of this movement is.
To be
completely
fair, I
unnecessary.
feel like the Gacha community at times feels like they have to try so hard. Like they again, like I feel like most people nowadays feel like they have to be rosy closey or crap. Who else? Who made it into the rabbit hole?
Gotcha, Emika.
Gotcha, ItzMeKat. You know, I feel like people nowadays feel like they have to be them, like on those, like, but it's like I don't know. That's not really, to me at least, that's not really a realistic standard to constantly maintain, because it's a very hard standard to maintain, even for someone like Rosie Closey. It's a really hard standard to maintain, and I'm honestly surprised she hasn't quit at this point. You know,
I mean, Rosie Closey also is surprised she hasn't quit.
Yeah.
If the video that she just uploaded recently is anything to go by.
Yeah, but it's like I feel like people underestimate how much work and time it takes into it, and they also tend to feel like they have to do that level of quality. Like it has to be to an obscene amount of quality, or it's not worth people seeing. Which I don't necessarily think is true. I mean, not that I don't think something being in the literal gutter is good, but at the same time, if you could do a decent level of quality without killing yourself while making it, and without, feeling like you have to go overboard, I think that's perfectly fine. And you shouldn't have to do things.
And in my case, if you can create a story that invests me and keeps me interested, then your visuals can look like hot garbage, and I won't care. But although this time, at least so far anyway, because we haven't really got into the meat of the matter yet, we haven't got to the stage where there's like any like as there's much story that has occurred. We're still in the setup phase, but for the time being, we seem to have kept on a story level to okay quality. Like just looking at this, if this were a pure script alone, I wouldn't bat an eye. I feel like it was a solid start.
The signs, you will know where to go. Besides, it's the first day of school. We get to see where our classes are, and we don't have to do any work on the first day of school.
Okay, do we have dorm?
How many times can you say first day of school and besides in one sentence? Okay.
Besides, it's the first day of school, Jacob. You have to. It's the first day of school. You have to cut them some slack. Besides, like, I mean, don't you think this language about the first day of school is fine? Besides the fact that, I mean, it take.
Allow me to flail my arm in response to you. Yes.
Besides,
well, yes. But don't worry, you'll be sharing a dorm with Mox.
Who is Mox?
Oh, they will be your roommate. I'm pretty sure.
I hope they're nice.
We have to go get.
I love that's like a new worry. Don't worry, we're sharing a dorm with this person. Proceeds to worry.
Your schedule and your uniform and your key to your
I'm sorry, uniform?
dorm. Let's go.
What
Wait,
uniform?
no one's wearing a
No, but-
uniform. I think everyone else forgot their uniform.
Or maybe on the first day of school we don't wear uniforms. You see, we only put them on when we have classes, and that's not the case for the first day of school.
Oh my god. I mean, I always found it weird how, like, because most of the time I imagine boarding schools have uniforms, but a lot of schools don't. I don't really think have uniforms. Like, I don't know why uniforms are so common in Gacha. Maybe it's because they're trying to emulate Japan. But most of the people who do it are like American, for example, in my experience, and it's like, so an American person is making a school with a non-private school with a uniform. Like, it would be one thing if you're British or from Japan or something like that, but most of the time, again, it's just American people who are in public school. It's like, you don't normally wear uniforms.
It does make designing clothes a lot easier.
It does, but
I mean, obviously, like Alfred Academy is set in Japan, so it probably would have had that regardless. But it's still a blessing for me, and it also allows me when they're out of uniform to get a bit more creative with their outfits because they already have an iconic design, quote unquote, that I can go back to, and also the armbands, which do have like a color coded system based on like the level.
Plus, I feel like with uniforms, at least you could do a little bit of a unique thing. Like, for example, if you have a bad boy character, maybe like he has his sleeves rolled up a little bit, and like maybe his tie's a bit more loose because bad boy, or you're like an uptight preppy girl who's like very prim proper and like everything's really tight up and like everything's like very meticulous.
I can't do that last one because everyone sort of looks like that, but yes, the bad boy one that could be done.
But I don't know, it's just like you can do some minor stuff with uniforms, just a slight modifications to them.
Yeah,
to make them look unique for each character.
Yeah, so we'll see what the uniforms look like after this point. Bearing in mind that this is the outfit that's in the intro, I guess that must have been that may have been made first.
And now we're in the principal's office.
We're here. Come on. Your box should be over here.
Your boss? Your boss?
There. That's my
I think she said box.
name right there.
All right, here's your box of things.
Thanks.
It's like a gift box. Here's your present. Merry Christmas.
It was also 2 gift boxes for a second. And again, I feel like some of these places they're not having enough time to pause. Like Cherry is coming too early twice at this point.
We keep cutting shots, and like it's very jarring sometimes, and my eyes kind of hurt after a while.
It's kind of like oh yeah, I see that's my name over there. All right, so here's your box. Like immediately, like give us a second at least. I don't know. I'll show her walking back with it. At least something, yeah.
Should be the second floor, 3 doors to the left.
All right. Okay.
I feel like with shots though, you have to linger on a shot for a good few seconds before cutting back.
It depends.
It's just shot composition, just because if you cut shots, like if each shot only lasts like maybe 2 to 3 seconds and you're constantly changing shots, even if you're changing a shot to a slightly zoomed in angle, it could get a bit jarring sometimes for me. So that's why I like to hold an angle for at least a few seconds, like maybe 10 seconds per angle. Or like certain
I wouldn't like impose a time limit on there because
not time limit, but you know, like I feel like when you switch angles too fast, then it ends up being like jarring.
I'm a little bit different because I do sometimes go from I just have to go from like a close up on one particular character to the other one and then go back and forth, just based on like whenever that other person speaks. It does vary, and sometimes with quick cuts that can help you out in certain situations, like action sequences occasionally. Obviously, don't be Michael Bay. That's too far. Don't be Michael Bay.
Just cut to a random explosion in the back, and in the back of the shot, like boom. It's like, oh no! It cuts to another random explosion in the back of the shot. No! And then just cuts to like someone being punched in the face. Ah! It's like it's just really quick shots.
Yes,
like,
that is a perfect description of what not to do. But fast shots can be useful at the same time as slow shots can. I guess also as far as slow shots go, don't be Stanley Kubrick is the other excuse.
But as a thing right now, I feel like the shots are way too fast and way too jarring. Because, like, keep in mind, my best guess of why we constantly have fades or random cuts to pretty much the same shot, but there's just a weird cut or like a missing frame or two, is because we're cutting from different shots where one shot is made in Gacha color, one shot's just a green screen character, the other shot's a fully animated character, cut back and forth, but then it ends up being very jarring. It's like, my eyes, you know. And it like the style right now doesn't feel that consistent. Like, I get what they're trying to go for, but it doesn't feel consistent. Like, what I would do is either animate only certain stuff, like maybe animate certain actions, or animate walk cycles and then have the rest be done, or have certain scenes be animated and have certain scenes be done with green screen work and like stop motion-y kind of stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't do too many mixing of them because that ends up being kind of jarring.
Right.
$3 to the left. Got it.
See, another fade. Like, take a shot every time the scene fades or
Also,
cuts.
was it just me or was that missing no for a second on the screen?
Okay, second floor, $3
Sliding because on a separate layer.
to the left. Got it.
Yeah, I was definitely missing no.
This should be it. See,
Another fade. That shot lasted 2 seconds.
I don't mind that. Like,
it feels too much for my brain. Like, no.
okay.
I'm not giving a good enough focus for amount of time. Being like honestly, I would have her walk up to it and like look at it. I was like, this looks like it. She walks closer.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And the fact that each transition ends up being a fade shot. Like, each transition, fade to black, fade up. Fade to black and fade up can be fine, but honestly, I would like a few more hard cuts hard cuts or crossfades would be better for general scene transitions, because fade up and fade down don't really work as well for general scene transitions because they end up being very annoying, especially with the amount of fade up and fade down we're dealing with right now. We're not dealing with we're dealing with tons.
Untapped.
Finally, alone.
Hi, I'm Alice. Your
Roommate, right? Yeah.
Oh, I saw a black line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know. Okay. So far, Mox is pretty decent. You know, finally alone, but doesn't like immediately go like, "Oh wait, I'm not alone." It's like, "Oh wait, you're my roommate." Okay, I instantly changed my mind.
Also,
That's
I got a
awesome.
question. Why is this character wearing like a stocking, but also wearing a sock?
That is a fair point. Design-wise, hasn't
that
sold
is
me
kind
just
of
yet.
strange. That is kind of strange. Just a tad.
Yeah, probably. Hunter's like sandpaper. You said it.
yeah, nice to meet you. I love your sweater.
Thanks. If my name's on things, don't touch. I'm gonna start writing notes for tomorrow. See ya.
They seem very nice. I should go grab a snack.
Honestly,
Where did
yeah.
Terry say the cafeteria was? I'll go ask Mox. Hey, Mox, where
Oh
is
wait, we didn't have a
cafeteria?
fade transition when she walked off. We had a hard cut. See, that's the kind of stuff I like. Look.
Brilliant.
Okay, fade transitions are fine sometimes, but when you have too many fade transitions in such close proximity, it gets grating.
Yeah, there's the emphasis sometimes, like you said.
I forgot.
Yeah.
It's downstairs. You will see it when you walk down the hallway. Now go on.
Thanks.
Man, they seem like in a bad
Jeez,
mood.
This school is so
All of a sudden, yeah.
huge.
Jeez, what?
Okay.
Why a
who's-
record scratch? I would have had a bumping in sound effect. Also, wait, this is the second time she's bumped into someone. Girl, it's the second
Yeah,
time this episode.
You can only have so many love interests. Come on.
Oh wait, it reminds me of that Aphmau Gacha skit where basically she just kept running into people. It was like, oh, I got another love interest. Oh, and then people tried running into her on purpose to become a love interest.
Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Phoenix Up High. Quite honestly, you trip over into Gareth's arms, and then eventually Lawrence finds you crying by the lockers.
Okay,
and,
but that's not literally bumping into people. That's just meeting your potential suitors
Yeah.
on dating sim.
yeah, but what I meant was like in quick succession. But yeah, the bumping into people. Yeah, my goodness, that is
Well, to be fair, I think that's just an episode 1 thing where it's like, oh, we need to establish all these characters in this show, or as many as possible.
Yes, you are doing the Lord's work, Ghosty. We all know this.
I'm so sorry I didn't see you.
How didn't you see him?
Also, who was he talking to? Because he was talking to someone there, but they just his mouth was moving or whatever. But I guess no one was there.
Maybe he was just standing with his mouth open.
Uh-huh.
Find it. Wait a minute. Is that it? I finally found it. I thought I would never find it.
Hey, Alice,
You've been looking for like barely a few minutes.
over here.
Who's yelling my name? Oh,
Oh my
The
god!
person who knows it.
it's
okay.
Cherry. Oh, hey, Cherry. What are you doing here?
I'm just watching this bag of Doritos float around a separate layer and not be keyframed.
Eating, of course. I got hungry when all the students around. Some of them.
I came to the cafeteria and sat down at the lunch table just to eat a packet of Doritos.
Also, how come no one's in the cafeteria? Dang.
I don't know. At least that's a custom prop. Side note: this is actually a pretty good design for how a cafeteria could look. I need to find this background or somehow replicate, because I failed miserably at creating a cafeteria several times.
I forgot where classrooms were.
Oh, I see. May I sit with you?
Yeah, we can share my chips.
No, that's okay.
Sharing your small bag of chips? I don't think that's many chips.
Probably finished off most of them by now.
Okay, so what's up?
See, why do you have to fade? Okay, question.
That
why
line
do
was
we have
cut.
to...
Hold on, that also, yes. Why we have to fade? You're right, but also that line was cut
Share
too.
my chips.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to sit down and chat. Actually,
Okay, so
See, okay, yeah, that line was cut because there was no moment of silence to it. But also, again, why do we have to fade there? There's no reason. She could literally just walk forward and sit in the chair. The background didn't change. Nothing in the scene changed. People weren't walking by. Nothing changed to warrant this. We didn't even cut to a different shot of her maybe her from another perspective, and then fade to her sitting in a chair. I don't know. Again, this is why these different shots are annoying me, because we just keep cutting, even though you can just walk forward, have a solid cut, or a crossfade, for crying out loud. The background didn't change.
It's certainly.
Did you meet Mox yet? And if yes, are they nice to you?
yes, and
Well, they're kind of a jerk, actually. They were kind of mean.
My goodness, I'm gonna be late. Whoa.
Oh,
See,
what?
that is the kind of bit character that you can give to someone and not have it be too obstructive to your series. A little bit, but not too much.
Oh, I wonder why she's in a rush. She's acting like she's late in a meeting or something.
She's
Well,
acting
you're
like
in a
she's late.
school!
Wait, Aidan, she's acted like she's late. And also, she literally shouted that she was late. I wonder if she's late.
I hate how these characters keep announcing their thoughts, being like, I hope they're nice. Like, you don't have to announce every single thought that goes in your head. You don't have to, not even announce it.
Even if you do, people just don't acknowledge it. No one picks up on it.
No, but you don't actually have to, you don't have to tell the audience. Like, you don't have to have the main character go into their head, say a statement of what they're thinking, and then maybe a few lines later say something to that extent. It's like, why even bother with having their internal thoughts? And even then, why not rely on the expressiveness of the gacha? Because, like, again, we're not dealing with something like Minecraft, where like expressions are very limited. Gacha is a lot more expressive by its nature, if you know how to work it properly. Which so far it seems the person knows how to work gacha. So. I'm trying so hard, but honestly, I'm not enjoying this. I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm not enjoying this. I don't want to be harsh, but I am.
Yeah, you don't want the technical aspect to come into it, but then when the script aspects come in as well, that's
the script and technical aspects, like
yeah,
I can appreciate a voice acted show, but I just don't think it's working right now. It's not.
We are halfway through this video, and I said before about the story and this being a setup phase. Yeah, ignore that part. We are in this video is called Witch Academy. We are halfway through this video and nothing remotely.
We haven't seen
magical
any
has happened.
witchy stuff. Where's the witchy stuff, man?
Yeah, show some actual magic. That's the exact reason when I did Alpha Witch Academy, as you know, the first scene was exposition. Okay, fine, but also shows how excited Erica was. Then immediately you have the intro where you see magic being performed, and then not only that, but then you also go into the actual building. We meet one of the most prominent teachers in this series, and then immediately, boom, uniform change, boom, teleportation to see a man in a floating disc. Like that's what you
I
need.
mean,
You need to establish
even
the
then, with the
environment.
background characters, I think you did a decent job of having some of them be magical.
I don't know about that because I mean,
I don't know. I know. At least in episode 2, there were some magical background characters.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, like there are some other people. I mean, in episode 2, there's a person who gets yeeted off the stage by telekinesis. But yeah,
That's Peaches. She's always late for something.
Do you know everyone's name?
I have to. It's important to know everyone.
Okay.
That's kind of strange. Okay. Like, what do you have? What are you, the government, trying to know everyone's name? I mean, that's a little bit creepy. I don't want you to know my name.
Yeah. Also, like, how many people are at this academy? Is that even feasible?
Go see if anyone needs help.
Wait, I actually need your help.
Oh?
Again, wait. I actually need your help to reply to the line of asking someone else needs your help. It's me. I need it. That's where you emphasize the I. But again, no retakes.
I see. Hey, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jacob, this is.
And we faded once again to the same scene. Yes, I need your help. Okay, fine. Scene transition. So you need my help? Do you know?
Okay. So this is just an important thing to note. So I went on the channel of the creator and went to see what episode 2 is, and I'm just scrolling through it, and so far at least, visually speaking, it improved because it doesn't look like they cut shots as fast. Like, shots are held for more than 2 seconds. So that's a massive improvement, and it doesn't look like we're fading down the scene to fade up to the same scene. Wait a minute! I just realized something. Are we actually fading up? I don't think we're fading up. I think we're just fading down and cut to the next scene. Is it a fade down to fade up, or
we'll work that out next time it happens because it's going to happen again. We know it.
I'm not worried. It's just since I was little, I just to be in this academy. I just don't want.
Oh my god! Why are we having an emotional scene? We haven't even emotionally connected to this character yet. Why are we sure?
Yeah. Okay. See, this kind of meltdown.
Not to pull off the crying.
I will say at least there's some variation to the performance at this point. That's an already improvement. But as far as the character goes, yes, we haven't had an emotional moment. You're right without that. But also, this kind of meltdown usually comes in after somebody has probably underperformed or feels like they're underachieving. We've seen no magic whatsoever in here, so we don't know what the level of the other students is going to be like. That's one way to do it. The other way, which is what I attempted to do, what I'm attempting to do with Erica at the moment, is demonstrate through subtly that she isn't on the same level as everyone else because she's just starting magic right now and hasn't grown up with it or anything. And that's why in the first episode, the wear that she produces is the smallest out of the entire group, and the smallest I could possibly make that prop in the first place in Gacha Club. And also, she has the pressure of given the tragic backstory and the reason that she wants to learn magic in the first place, which haven't been fully spelled out yet. But guess what? People have worked it out without a meltdown occurring of this nature. But she came close a couple of times. There's many ways around this, but basically what we need to do is see some way before this happens that the character is underprepared or underperformed in some way, but also the character themselves notice that has happened. Those two things need to happen before this meltdown occurs, and we haven't done anything with them yet.
Hey, you're not gonna mess anything up. It's just the first day. Can you do any kind of spells yet?
No.
Please demonstrate that.
Not really. I just been practicing my magic and spells though.
Well,
You can't do any spells, but you've been practicing your magic and spells. Want to run that one by me again, Chief? Ah, my goodness.
I mean, oh my
That wasn't even like a sentence away. It was literally just, it was the same point. How do you miss that in the script?
god, look at the time. I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for a meeting.
I wonder if she's going to be late. Dare I suggest it?
Okay, I should just go back to the dorm and get ready for tomorrow.
Oh, also that's another thing. The thoughts aren't echoed, so it's like there's no distinction between when someone's thinking something when they're speaking out loud.
Wait a minute, I didn't even grab a snack.
Yeah, that's a good point. You went to the cafeteria to grab a snack and you forgot about that.
Hey,
Also, you have no class today, so you don't need to be anywhere. Just go back to the cafeteria.
Mox, are you still here? Probably they went for a snack too, for a walk
But you didn't see them.
or.
Hey!
Why did you smack her there of all places? Oh dear, Mox, you've just lost some points with me.
How long were you standing there for, Mox?
Not long,
How long were you standing there? You're tearing me apart,
I
Lisa.
would say. What'd you got for a snack?
I forgot my snack. I got a.
And once again, the time. Okay, I feel like maybe this isn't just like a fade thing. Maybe it's whatever. Maybe this has to be like rendered in bits or something like that. You know, to like shrink down the layers, which I also say should have been pre-rendered beforehand anyway. But whatever. But also, I don't know. Is there like an editing software that just cuts things based on like a certain time limit of clips? And this is just how they all ended before they were synced up together in a different software? I really don't know. I'm really not sure. And yes,
Distracted by Cherry, and she had to go, and I forgot my snack.
I'm going to assume that since Cherry knows everyone, that Mox also knows who Cherry is. She might be on some sort of council or something, but otherwise, it would need to explain who that is or ask if they know Cherry.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
You know you can cast this food spell, right?
Please cast a spell, any spell.
Food spell.
Also, if you can cast a food spell and you can learn that before you come to the academy, why is there a cafeteria?
Please, be right back.
Okay.
Okay, it's right here. It's simple, right? You know how to do magic, right?
Yes, I can. Why can I?
You mean yes, I do, as in you do know, not can you know.
I just go back to grab a snack, or you cast the food spell.
Fine. Go grab your snack from the cafeteria then.
But I don't want to get back down there.
Just take the paper. I got it from my friend's mom. It has little silly child spells on it. Take it.
Thanks.
Sunshine, daisies, butter, mellow, turn this stupid fat rat yellow. Anyway.
Why don't you want?
Why does she sound so defensive as an honest question? Because of the previous meltdown scene where she seems like she's under pressure because she wants to go to the Witch Academy, but apparently doesn't know how to do spells, but has been practicing her magic and spells. I don't know anymore.
Just take it. I'm gonna go read.
Okay, see ya, Mox. Okay, the food spell. It seems very easy. Ugh! I almost had it.
Okay, we had some actual magic effects. That counts for something.
Hey, if you really want a snack, I can just go down and grab one for you. If you really want a snack.
No,
I don't know, or try you cast the food spell.
that's okay.
Show how it's done.
Okay, I just need to practice my magic anyways.
Okay, I'm gonna go down to look for Cherry before we have to go get ready for bed. And
Imagine if magic barely works if you're hungry. Like the hungrier you are, like the less energy reserves you have, the less magic you perform. You know what? That could be a thing for the Butterverse. But also, they're getting ready for bed right now, and all she's had all day is a snack. I mean, this is gonna sound rich coming from me, but you should probably eat something else. I don't know, get dinner or something. Before it gets too late.
Okay, see ya.
Okay, have fun. Okay, one more time.
Does it work now?
Now to go look for Cherry. She might be in the principal's office or.
Hey, mind if I take along?
Sure.
Wow, so you just immediately came back out right after Mox left. And like I said, the spell worked that one time. That's my magic powers right there.
Sure.
But it also... okay, one positive thing here. it's at least subtly conveyed. She's holding a bit thing. There's something there. She's gonna say me, I did it. Look, but I mean, the VA sounds like they've got their mouth full, which actually works for this point, and is chewing. And the prop is there, and that's all you really need. You know, we've got the content that the food spell was there before, and now Mox, of course, is going to piece things together through visual clues rather than having to be spelled out. Right? Right?
What are you eating?
Oh, I was just eating what I was hungry for. Oh, by the way, the food spell worked.
Okay, never mind. I guess they didn't catch on to that. Why would she be eating something? Like, if she had that all along, then she wouldn't have needed the spell in the first place. If she was hungry for that specifically, and because she didn't have that, it's safe to assume she's been doing the spell this whole time, and therefore has mastered the spell. I was so ready to give like a positive comment about observing things through visual cues and subtlety, and you had to go and spell it out again. Why? Just why?
Spell worked? How did you...
What?
Never mind. Forget about that. What
do you mean, how? By reading the spell and performing it. All you gave her was a piece of paper, implying that it could be done by reading it and performing the motions. And as far as you know, she's a magic practitioner because she said yes to that before when you asked her about it. This wouldn't shock anyone.
did you get to eat?
Papa John's pizza.
What?
Papa John's
Well, this episode is sponsored apparently.
pizza? That's an odd choice.
Oh, Cherry. Hey, I was just gonna go look for you.
Hi, Cherry.
Hi. Anyways, what are you guys doing out here?
Did she blank on Mox's name?
It's getting late.
I know, Cherry. I guess I took too long. What are you doing here?
I just came from helping a student find their dorm. I was heading back to my dorm and I heard you guys talking.
By the way, if you think that Mox sounds slightly better than the other VAs, that's because Mox is voiced by the director.
You guys are really loud.
Sure we are. Hey, Cherry, can I go with you to get a drink? The sink in our bathroom, the water tastes horrible.
But it's getting late and...
Cherry, you're the student whatever-thing. You can do whatever you want. I just need a drink. Please, Cherry?
I'll just make some water for you. Grab your water bottle and I'll put some...
Yeah, also, there's a food spell but not a water spell. I guess you can solve world hunger but not world thirst. That's the rules.
water in it. So we can head back right now. It's 8 and the cafeteria is closed at this time.
Hey, if you guys are
Why do you need a cafeteria? You have a food spell!
getting a drink, can you give me one too?
Can you join the call and say something? Yes, please. I don't know what happened to Aidan. I think he's been summoned for something, so yeah, go ahead. You can stay because I've only got one guest. There you are. You can join.
No, because it's getting late, and what if we get caught for being out late?
Fine. You're no fun, Cherry. Come on, Alice. Let's head back.
Okay.
All right. KW, hello. Is that what we wanted to say? Just
I'm just watching the live stream in the background. Really is not saying anything. And it's just like,
Caca.
Aidan, you're back. Guess what? It almost got good for a split second, and then it just didn't. It was like right on the ledge, and then it fell.
Look, the characters' designs are just god awful. Like, why would someone wear a black bow behind their pants? This is
Like attached. That's a good point. It's attached to her back based on like where it's positioned. There's nothing there like apart from her midriff. That's it. Either they're hanging from her top or attached to her pants at the top. Yeah.
hands. Why are they like that? Why the way they?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, KW. Some of your designs are kind of just as weird at times. Like, remember the down pointing pupils? Because he's an undead knight. I don't even know what that means in relation to down pointing pupils.
It has to do with his death. Shush.
His death? And what? Did someone take his pupils and drag him down his iris?
No, I think I know what happened. He was doing a tightrope back in the circus, and people told him, "Whatever you do, don't look down." He looked down, fell to his death. There you go. It's a permanent reminder.
It's not even looking
Confirmed.
down though. It's like your iris. Your pupil went down your iris.
I'm
That's not how
looking
it works.
down. My pupils won't turn, and they
Oh
are
my
always
God.
facing the
How does that even
ground.
work, anyways?
And the line differences. Oh my God.
Katie, let's commit
Who
homicide.
Yeah.
decided some of these line differences are okay?
I don't like how the character, I forget their name, but how they have like a sock and a stocking on, like it's
Mox.
weird.
That's Mox. Yeah, the left
Mox.
on the left.
I
Yeah.
don't like that fashion choice. That gives me vibes like the two different sleeves, like sizes. Like it gives me those vibes. Like, oh no.
I didn't think I would ever say this, but that's actually worse than the sleeves because at least the sleeves look like they match a set, but I don't know, the tailor got the measurements wrong. This just looks like someone, got dressed in the dark.
They were just dressed and they were too stubborn to turn on light, so it's like, I think these are the same things. And they walk down, it's like, oh,
I was just hanging out with her, but he had to go, and I was just watching the live stream, making comments and everything about this.
Oh, by the way,
it's just-
KW, when are you gonna record those lines for that thing?
Julie, do
I
a
don't
thing.
know. I honestly do not know, honestly, because I'm still trying to figure out how to do the voice and everything, and honestly, I don't know if I
if
can
you
do
want
it.
after the stream, or like as soon as the stream ends, we get going call and I can coach you on the voice.
I'm getting dinner, so I don't have to stay for that.
No, you can be here. It kind of pertains to you in a way.
Oh, okay, sure. All right then.
Sure, why not? I just.
Okay, back to your comments for now then.
I'm just trying to figure this out. This is called Witch Academy, right? I'm
I
trying
don't
to
see no
remember.
witches.
I don't see any witches.
Actually,
I don't.
Aidan, you missed this. She performed a spell.
Oh, finally.
Yes, which by the way, the spell is a food spell. Apparently, that's a very simple spell that you can learn immediately, but yet the school is a cafeteria.
So wait, how does that work though? Is Grow the Hunger an issue in this universe? Because if you could do magic, what they could literally do is a bunch of witches could literally go to each country that's having a food crisis and literally just summon a bunch of seeds to plant for future food, and then summon a bunch of food to hold them off while the other food grows.
Yep.
And basically ending world hunger for LTVs.
This is why Aidan and I like to know how magic works and everything, because we want to make sure they're
magic.
I mean, to conjure food, it'd probably have to take a lot of energy out of you, like to summon food, depending on the kind of food. Not to mention, can you torque the food? I feel like you'd have to know the kind of chemical processes and the kind of stuff you're including. Like, it was Avenger Time where this kind of happened, but basically Princess Bubblegum was the candy elemental where she controlled all candy. So, but she used her science brain after getting some of the abilities unlocked for her. And basically where instead of just shooting jelly beans, she used her brain and like formulated the kind of chemicals mentally inside her of how to make soda and like Mentos and stuff like that, to like using the chemicals and like formulating them using her brain and body, and then managed to make soda and Mentos and stuff like that. But basically using science and stuff like that. So would that kind of work the same with magic? Like you're channeling magic, but it's all about knowing the exact chemicals, the exact stuff that goes into making each food and chemically formulating it.
You see? This is why I don't do any sort of magic
or is it like summoning
because
food
it doesn't make sense.
It could be summoning food, like you're teleporting it from somewhere else, but I don't know that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Look, I know I read Harry Potter and watched the Harry Potter movies. I still don't understand the food system and Hogwarts. I still don't. I know they make the food.
Or it could be
I can help with that.
How do they magically teleport the food? I forget.
Or it could be
Actually,
I don't know.
They just said you pronounce whatever's on the menu, and then it teleports from the Hogwarts kitchens to the plates.
It also could be a transmuting thing. Like if you put a bunch of minerals, iron, and stuff like that, which are fundamentally the building blocks, maybe you can like recomposite them into edible food. Or you could convert certain molecules into certain other molecules, which ultimately come together to equal some sort of food using the spell. But
That
again,
could also solve world hunger. I guess that's what Gumball said, isn't it? Everything's made out of circles, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I go really in depth with magic systems and knowing how to do, you know, magic balancing and stuff like that, because you can't just throw out something like, say, I have a spell that will give me immortality without an explanation of how you get said immortality, instead of just saying some words and like putting some energy inside yourself. Like, where are you getting that energy? Are you getting it from somewhere else? Are you making it? Are you channeling it? Is it a potion? How are you doing it? Are we dealing with some sort of enchantment? Like, I don't know. Is there a way to take back this immortality? Can you like absorb it out? I don't know. Again, like I said,
Is it made by people?
I don't know. Like, do you have to sacrifice someone else's life? Do you have to like sacrifice someone else's life for this? You know, who knows? You know, like again,
Yeah,
it's
no.
when we're going to magic systems and how spells work and how potions, elixirs, enchanted objects work. You really got to go into how do you balance this in the grand scheme of things, so it's not just like I could just unleash godly amounts of power with little to no cost.
Right, no. The reason why I said it's made by people, because just a quick funny story. My mom saw my Christmas list, and I put down the newly FNAF cookbook, and she just stares at me, and she's like, "There's a FNAF cookbook? What are we cooking? People?
Cannibalism. No, we're cooking dead kids. We're cooking dead kids. God.
KW, I'll be honest, that's a valid question.
And I was trying not to laugh so hard. I'm like, no, Mom, we're making pizzas. And then she has this look like, are you sure we're making pizzas?
Well, you know, okay, look, just because the pepperoni's made from literal parts of fingers of little kids doesn't mean we're making it out of people. We're only making it partially out of people. Granted, the cheese is also partially like melted down skin shavings of people as well. So it's kind of complicated, but you know, yeah.
You know, at some point I knew I was going to get this video with limited ads. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. There it was.
I'm sorry. I was just like, I just can't believe we're talking about like food and such. And I just would never my mom like look at my Christmas list and like, what are they cooking? People?
Okay. Apparently one thing that's balanced out. Apparently you can't make drinks. There's no spell for that. Food's okay, but drinks is a no-go.
But
wait,
But what if you wanted to make? No, here's the thing. What if you wanted to? No, what if you wanted to make? What if you wanted to make a milkshake? I mean, that's technically a food. No, that's technically a food. But you let it melt, and bam, you got like melted chocolate.
Well, if only they had thought of that. I guess they didn't.
Oh, actually, I did have a conversation. I don't know who I had it with, but basically I was talking about this and I was like, actually, technically speaking,
could you make cheese and, like, take out the bacteria, make it go back to milk, possibly?
But, like, technically, here's the thing. So, when it comes to drinking and eating, they're actually, depending on what you drink and what you eat, it's actually how you consume it. So it's not really a state of food being. It's more of a state of how you're consuming it. Like there's stuff that's more liquidy that you would say you eat, but there's stuff that's more solid that you say you drink. Like for example, I literally drink yogurt. Yeah,
I've never heard anyone say that before, but okay.
No, but you eat soup, but soup's basically a liquid of physical chunks. So I think it really comes down to ultimately how you're consuming the thing versus what it actually is. Because you can't really technically eat milk, but you can't really scoop milk up. But you eat cereal with milk in the bowl. So technically, you're eating milk.
I don't.
Oh my god! I just realized something. Frozen milk. You can make frozen milk that you
and then let it melt.
Wait for it to thaw.
Exactly.
Wait, that's what they could have done here. Just summon some ice cubes with the food spell and wait for them to cool into a glass of water.
Fair, true.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, what did? Oh god, I just remember. I also watched,
See, this is magic.
Buster.
This is what happens when you get into magic. You gotta somewhat think it through, because if you don't think it through, you get this.
Exactly.
To be honest, I did watch MasterChef about tomato soup, and people made it either chunky or creamy.
Ew.
Because it's supposed to be the adult version of tomato soup. Even someone put like bourbon in the tomato soup.
Ooh.
I like it chunky. Anyway.
Oh, Moto. Hello.
Hello. I don't know what he sounds like when he's not singing.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, Moto. Hello. I don't hear it. Listen, okay. Did I mention I love male attention?
You don't have to, Aidan. We all know.
Exactly.
Hopefully. What a day.
Oh.
Oh wow.
This is gonna get copyright claimed.
This episode was short. I wish could have been long, but it took me a bit because of school, but hope you like. Which that part makes sense. But also, it doesn't matter if an episode is long or short, as long as it's good.
I mean, I feel like regardless if an episode's long or short, as long as the episode itself has decent amount of stuff happening in it,
Who's gonna break it to them? Who's gonna break it to them?
That's episode 2 is on its way.
Optimistic, yeah.
Look, you are hopeful. That's very good, but the voice acting is like, there are good moments, but there are times where I just want to throw my mobile screen.
It reminds me of slightly worse season 1 The Mutant Girl voice acting, to be fair.
Oh my god, when I heard Mrs. Sassar for the first time and she went so high pitch, I was like, what is this?
I mean,
it's all about it, by the way. I was just like, oh god, it's so high pitch. What the?
Yeah, that can work for certain characters. Honestly, the high pitches of the voice in this case didn't matter. It was everything else.
I mean, technically, Morwenna has a high pitched voice, but no one complains about her voice.
Yeah, no one bats an eye.
Oh, hers is high pitch. Her is high pitch. It's just not as high as
towards the
Mrs.
beginning.
Dysart.
Yeah.
Well, I think Morwenna is actually higher than Mrs. Dysart. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, actually, at one point they were the same because they were voiced by the same person.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Yeah, back in season 1. But yeah, as soon as Nova took over, he started doing a higher pitched voice to start off with, and then progressively pitched it down as Morwenna got older. So now season 3 Morwenna sounds different. Yeah, exactly.
That's very clever. That's showing that kids grow up.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the same thing that happened to Zach Eisen in Avatar, but just naturally. Because yeah, season 1 Aang sounds different to season 3 Aang. I'll say that much.
Well, I mean, bringing up Adventure Time, Finn sounds different in the beginning of Adventure Time and the very end of Adventure Time, because that was over 8 or 9 years. And Finn's VA was I think 11 or 12 when he started.
Yeah,
and it was 18 or 19 when he ended.
Yeah, I guess also Gumball's another example, because Gumball's voice actor and Darwin's have changed.
Oh yeah, no, those changed. I think 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but they do leave it for an amount of time, until they realize, okay, yeah, it's time to pivot, and then they always tie into some sort of joke. So
yeah, I mean, personally though, for Gumball's VA and Darwin's VA, I actually would have hired adults for that and just had the adults put on a high pitched voice.
I don't know.
I mean, because keep in mind, again, Tara Strong, for example.
Yeah,
she has really good range. So if you could just find 2 adults with really good range, you don't ever have to change to VA. And if you want the VA to get deeper or the voice to get deeper, you can. But if you don't want to get deeper and you want them to stay the same voice throughout the whole thing, I would personally just go for
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, okay, fine. Tara Strong, my beloved, but at the same time, I see it as a good thing to give young voice actors like that opportunity, and especially to have.
He's silent. We can't hear you.
I was like, no, really? At a time like this, when I'm trying to explain stuff? Come on, man.
I think it's a good thing to have preteen boys voice preteen boys at the same time. So I mean, and you have both of the options to compare. Because I mean, admittedly, like when you go back and listen to like a few of the Tara Strong voices, it's very clear that it is a voice that someone is putting on. It's a very good voice, but it's clear that it's not the real article in some occasions. Whereas with other performances, it just is. I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, like Zach again, going back to Zach Eisen, for example. I mean, who better to actually play that particular role? I mean, sure, it could have got an adult woman potentially, but that was a joke in the Embryden players, for crying out loud. They got a woman to play me. So it does depend. Like, either way, it works.
I mean, yeah, but also speaking from a long-term perspective, again, the VA of Aang, I mean, if they ever want to do any proper flashbacks to like when he was like the young Aang that we saw in Avatar: Last Airbender, or maybe slightly after, they're gonna have to recast because that original VA went through puberty and has it sounds a lot more grown up now, and you can't just slide back.
I don't see that as a problem.
Yeah, but if you ever want to go back to it, you can't ever slide back into that previous age.
No, I mean, I don't see the recasting of a young Aang as a problem if you want to have more content from that particular era of his life, or from the 100 years or something. Because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, still the same character. Obviously, I'm in the position where I've for the last 4 years I've had to replace one voice actor after another consistently. But at least unless I don't want to speak on behalf of the audience too much, but it seems like people haven't lost immersion based on the changes of voice actors like all the time. I think like they're still ultimately written as the same people. And
well,
yes,
I mean, we don't really write the script based off the VA, to be fair.
There is also that. I mean, honestly, back in the day, I used to for season 1. At times, I was like, okay, this is something that I know this particular voice actor can do really well, so I'm going to actually like steer in this direction for a bit, or make like a behind the scenes like inside joke, and then it would not pan out because then the voice actor would leave before we got to filming that episode. But so I stopped doing that. So, but yeah, like that's the thing, and I feel like that's also what happens in TV shows. Sometimes you do that if you know you're going to have a voice actor for long term. But I mean, for crying out loud, if you hire a teen actor in the first place, you know that their voice is going to change. So why would you not prepare for that?
I mean, the Gumballs writers didn't, because they had to change multiple times.
Well, I mean, for crying out loud, sometimes like even unexpected changes happen. If we're going back to Avatar, for example, Uncle Iroh, like the original voice actor, passed away. Like you can't prepare for that.
Okay,
they found someone else who could do a different voice. Yeah,
death is different because death is unpredictable.
Yeah, but what I mean is like it sometimes happens. So like it you are. So like honestly, again, embrace the change sometimes, and like as long as you keep the characters on the same given path, then it should work out in the end. People will have their preferred voice actors for everyone is like, oh yeah, like oh yeah, so that you can say like, oh, I prefer, I don't know, this voice as Julius, or this voice as Julius, or I don't know, whoever may end up being.
I don't know. I feel like everyone can agree. I feel like most people's general consensus on their favorite VA of Julius was the original. I feel like that's a general consensus, but just say Nova is best Morwenna. Like,
I haven't really conducted a survey on that matter.
Nova is best Morwenna, and
okay, I will say I take back. Sometimes there are like clear outliers. I also go like Nova Nova, it depends, honestly, because Natasha also knocked it out of the park. But
Yeah.
but
Well,
like other
Natasha
examples,
knocked it out
Miller,
of the park, especially for her age. Like her age was very like especially
yeah,
like
and
I
she
was
was
really
playing
impressed.
and she was playing multiple roles as well. Like again, Mrs. Dysart and Kylie, and they and yes, like if you try it back, they do. You can tell that it's a voice that's being put on, but like I said, with Tara Strong, it's a very good voice, and it's a very distinct character for each of them. And that's the sign of a remarkable voice actor right there. So again, then you have different perspectives. Sometimes there are like clear outlying victors, like that are just unanimous. Like for example, like Miller as Pop, for example. I don't know, or Monet as Empress. Like those people.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
it really does
I
depend.
will say I do think Jay did a better job for the more comedic pop moments, but especially the more menacing pop moments, Miller did way better.
Okay, yeah, and that's a good point, because actually, whenever any of us do a Pop impression behind the scenes, we always do an impression of the J voice. Like accent aside, it's more difficult to do an impression of Miller in the first place. But accent aside, like that performance of spoiled brat clearly came from that characterization. Also, Jay was the creator of Pop in the first place, so already came with an advantage. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This advantage, like each person, and people can be right either way. So again, it's just a roll of the dice, and actually, that's another way to get people talking about the show, even if it wasn't intentional. If it was, then all the more reason. I don't know.
I mean, I do find it interesting, like when we watch remakes, like the remakes with the new voice actors versus the remakes with the previous voice actors. I always find that interesting because, like, you can really compare and contrast the VAs, since, like, when the new VAs are reading the newer lines, obviously the original VAs didn't say those lines unless we're referencing an old line. But when we do a remake with the exact same script, we actually get to hear the new VA's interpretation of the older material, and it's a very interesting idea to compare and contrast portrayals.
It does give you the clearest point of view, the clearest view of how that would go. Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's why in there's different dubs of DBZ and stuff where people will put the same scene back to back. And that's what they do there.
Oh, like where they show like different languages, how will they did it in the different languages?
Not even different languages, but just different dubs in the same language. Sometimes with big shows, you get those. Like Ocean dub versus Funimation dub is a debate that will go on until the heat death of the universe. But at the same time, and people have arguments for both cases, and most of the time, people's preferred version of the dubs is just people's preferred voice actors come from both different versions of those. But yeah, and there's obviously more English dubs of DBZ, but we don't talk about most of those. Big Green, anyone? Yeah. So like I said, it's a complicated topic that ultimately creates a lot of discussion, and people can have good points either way. They can have bad points too, obviously. Sometimes with anything, people will get overheated sometimes, but I personally haven't seen too much about that. Then again, maybe people are keeping that under wraps with my own shows to not really tell me. Maybe that happens behind closed doors. I don't know about it. We'll see. Okay, anyway, back to this video that we were supposed to be talking about. That was a very interesting tangent right there about the nature of voice acting overall. But yeah, back to this episode. Josh, what have you shown us? What have you introduced us to? I should watch the other Witch Academy, quite frankly. I
don't even know what to say. I think I already said enough. Some the character designs are just the voice lines and the delivery and just the hands. Because it's they didn't do it with accidentally or anything like that. They did it on purpose, because why would it be there 24/7 if it was an accidental thing?
Yeah, and speaking of stuff that was there 24/7, the animation, admittedly, I feel like this was probably a first try, and possibly the pressure, like Aidan said before, the pressure was to just to make as many advances as possible. But unfortunately, you did that with an editor that seems to want to fade out and fade in every 10 seconds, and with no passage of time or rhyme or reason, and on top of a script that at the start was okay because it was just a basic setup. But then as soon as it gets like mildly complicated, the immediate problems start to arise, which is not a good sign going forward. And barely anything magical at all. The one spell that is introduced in this episode causes immediate problems because you have a cafeteria in a world where everyone can summon food at will.
What do you mean? Just summoning food out of thin air with no consequence of anything. It's totally normal and totally works in a world of
cafeteria. We're not even talking about like the social ramifications of that. Like, yes, world hunger is most likely not a thing in this universe as long as the people who have gone to Witch Academy, the alumni, are using their powers for good, which obviously is.
I mean, maybe they're a bunch of selfish witches in general. Maybe. Where it's like they're all selfish.
Not all of them.
They're all selfish. They're like, now do not give food to the homeless. They'll just steal it from you. Like dang.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, no, cause come my season 1, it was somewhat decent and everything, but it's just I did it the basic way possible because I knew I can't do anything so advanced or anything like that, like Secret of Blacks or Fallen Angels or just anything in general that's really high expectations. And so I feel like this person should have done that where they just start somewhere with the basic and everything before trying to do key framing or voice acting or something like that, just to get an idea what it's like to make an episode of something or a pilot or a test, that sort of deal.
I can relate to that because that's the exact same mistake that I made. Yeah, I mean, what possessed me to start immediately with voice actors and with keyframes after I didn't even know what keyframes were called. I had to look up how to make the characters move. I had to figure out keyframes on my own. Yeah, that was I just looked up YouTube tutorials before I started editing immediately without practice. That was my practice. The music album was initially my practice, and then it became the front-running show of the channel. But yeah. So I guess sometimes it works out, but the thing is, the Mutant Girl, at least, again, not to try and toot my own horn too much, but at least I feel like it had a story, an idea behind that, and episode 1 did a lot of the legwork that it was supposed to, getting people to think about the characters themselves rather than, oh, okay, this is just what we're what do we know about these people really? I guess Cherry knows, Cherry knows everyone. Mox is, I guess, seems to be generally enthusiastic.
I don't remember. That's how much how bad this was, because I don't remember much because I just get so lost in the story.
Yeah. And then what's the goal as well?
You could say the same thing for Ponies, to be honest. But Ponies was bad.
Ponies was a kind of dumb fun that works.
Ponies also had a few characters that really stood out, and they happen to be the ones that survive for the most part. But
yes, when all the ponies got genocided at the very end of the season.
I mean, by pure coincidence. But yeah, some of them, particularly Rainbow and Sweetie Belle, again, the ones that survived.
Yo, I got my camera, yo!
See, immediately you remember that, and that's the thing I think of whenever I think of Rainbow at first. My head goes yo, I hear that in my head.
This is torture.
I mean, I think what's good for a lot of shows is if they try to be quotable.
Yes, that is true. That's another thing the Music God did immediately. I set up all of the major catchphrases I could think of in the first episode. Neutral, no mess with Pop Josephine's gang. I forgot what other ones at the top of my head right now, but yeah, right. I did try and establish that at least and go from there. Oh, and Freak Show too. The first use of Freak Show was in episode 1.
I think I was it, but could have done better. Sometimes.
Oh well, yeah. It's episode 1s we all could have done better, and I guess that definitely applies to this episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
If we ever return to this series again, hopefully it gets better. I don't know if Jacob wants to return or not to it.
I definitely want to return. I want to see some actual like some other magic involved, and I can see that in the next episode thumbnail there is actually a uniform, so we do end up going there eventually.
Oh, we finally got the uniform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and until next time.
I guess so. There's episode 2. We'll get to that. I don't know if we'll cover that next time, but we will. We'll return to this. I feel like I need to remember like what other stuff I've got lined up as well because
maybe the
but none of my stuff.
Yeah, or maybe I look into the other Witch Academy series, the iconic one that I mentioned at the start of this episode.
Ooh.
Also, guys, remember the next Fallen Angel episode comes out Saturday.
That too.
Yeah.
At 3 EST.
That's 4 p.m. at my time.
Yeah, it's gonna be like at 4 p.m. at 3 EST. What do you mean?
No, it's 2 p.m. No, it's 2 p.m. my time. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you're an hour behind me.
Yes,
KW,
yes, I am.
KW lives in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
She's actually on a secret island that no one knows about.
Yes.
Aidan! We're not supposed to tell them?
I mean, she isn't on a secret island that
Quick,
no one
cut
knows
the video.
about.
Cut the video. Please leave a like or dislike.
Or dislike because your opinion matters, and
Until next
something drugs, and yes.
Until next